Welcome everyone. Welcome to Secrets. My name is Abe. I have some secrets to share with you, but first let me wish you a happy new moon of Sagittarius and happy Thanksgiving. It's lovely that the new moon falls on Thanksgiving this year. All kinds of amazing energy coming our way, especially the energy of miracles. So sit back, relax for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and this is a great opportunity to share this video. You will see why. So I want to start right off the bat with a secret from the Book of Formation. Now, the Book of Formation is one of the premier ancient texts of the Kabbalah, and it is authored by Abraham, the biblical Abraham the patriarch, and he explained about all the constellations. Abraham was a master of astrology. So I want to show you this. Okay, this is the letter Gimmel. Now, it looks to me backwards. I hope it's not backwards to you, but this is the letter Gimmel. It has the G sound in Hebrew. Now, this letter has a very interesting structure. Look at it. It looks like someone and a leg extending forward and taking a step forward. Okay? We'll talk about that. Taking a step forward. Now, this month, and I'm going to speak Kabbalistically, because the standard of astrology, it doesn't go into the secret explanation or understanding. While Sagittarius is a lovely month, it seems to be a month for very calm people who are born under the sign of Sagittarius. Calm, I don't mean calm, I mean more evenly keeled, certainly than Scorpio, and definitely more evenly keeled than Gemini, but that's not to say that they can't get upset, because Sagittarius can have anger. But Sagittarius is known because of its relationship with Jupiter. Jupiter rules the month as a month of miracles. Jupiter is a planet that creates miracles somehow, but that's what we're going to talk about. How to create miracles. What does it actually mean? What is the relationship with, again, this letter, the letter Gimmel, which is the representative or the vibration, the creator, as the Kabbalists call it, of Jupiter that rules this month. So let's talk about this principle of miracles, because there is an energy of miracles in this month. What is a miracle? A happening, something out of the ordinary. So we would learn very basically that there are two levels of existence. There is the mundane, let's call it the mundane level, which we are all accustomed to. It is our daily life. It is our five senses world. It is the world that we live in majority of the time. Now, every now and then we see something out of the ordinary. Maybe we have a vision, meaning an understanding of the future, an understanding of vision. You can call it different things. I don't want to go stretch it and call it prophecy. Some people would call it that. A dream that comes true, something like that. Anything which is beyond our five senses doesn't mean that it's a miracle necessarily. It's just not in the realm of what I understand today. By the way, tomorrow I might understand it differently, and I won't see it that much out of the ordinary. And that happens to many of us when we begin to study this wisdom in particular, and I'm sure other spiritual wisdoms as well. You begin to have more vision about things, more understanding about things, and things which seem kind of incredible to you now, but when you have more of an understanding about it, it becomes more normal. And it should be that way. That's good. That's a good thing. But when we can recognize the difference between, between what is regular and what is out of the ordinary, we can have more consciousness about it. Now that's important, and I'll tell you why. Because we say consciousness is everything, but the awareness of things is really the power. When we begin to have the awareness, we can make the difference, we can focus on one or the other. What's regular and what's irregular in a good way? Irregular in a good way. What's out of the box? Because when we speak about this idea of miraculous, it is just that. It's out of the box. Question: can we create that at will? Kabbalistic answer: yes, we can. But not necessarily plan it. We can create it, but we can't necessarily plan it. Or what do I mean by that? A miracle is like a package. It's a package of energy that we can insert into our life. Now, sometimes we can insert it into a given situation, and sometimes we just insert it into a variable. Now, that sort of depends what you're doing, what situation you find yourself in. But before we go there, again, let's go back to this idea: two levels of existence, the regular, the irregular, nature and miracles. So generally speaking, the Kabbalists explain that there is a name, a holy name, of one of God's names, which is Elohim. Elohim, which literally means God, one of the names of God. We know how God, we don't know what God is, but there are many names that are references to the force of creator. Elohim, numerically in gematria, which means the letters are numbers, and if we take the add those letters, which are numbers, up, we get 86. Now 86 in Hebrew is also the numerical value of nature, hateva, nature, the nature. Meaning that there is a level of God, there's a level of godliness, the energetic force of God, which relates to nature, runs nature, and gives you energy through nature. In other words, nature is the conduit. So as we live our life, we experience nature. But how we experience nature depends on how we relate to nature. Now, according to the Kabbalist, spiritual tools, things like prayers, things like living a good life, things like being a good person, will give you the good that nature has to offer. Again, we have to understand that. Nature has a lot of good to offer. Now, even though we as human beings, we have the capability to mess nature up, destroy nature, but if we are living in accordance with nature, and again, using spiritual tools, that's quite important. Whatever your spiritual tools are, we can get the best that nature has to offer. It's nature. But good things will happen to us in accordance with nature. What does that mean? Well, you do everything you're supposed to do within the framework of a deal. Let's say if you're a business person, or if you're looking for a job, it really makes no difference. If you follow the steps, you will come out good through nature. So if you do the steps that are necessary, If it doesn't work here, it will work here. It will work somewhere. Through nature. You have to work through nature. Nature must be worked through. And again, because it's nature, it does things in a natural way. But you will get the best that nature has to offer. That's good. I mean, great, amazing. Getting the best that nature has to offer. What's the difference between that and miracles? So I want to just refer again back to the ancient Aramaic or Hebrew. The word for a miracle is nes, N-E-S, nes. Now, this month is known as a month of miracles. Well, what does that mean? And does it only mean during this month? And the answer is no. Because we know that every single month has to offer something particular for the year. In other words, we access into the energy of this month. If we know what we're looking for, if we have consciousness, if we have awareness about it, we can access it in the rest of the year. And it's the same way with every other constellation. Whatever that constellation has to offer, it offers it to the year. It's available for the year for us. In that month, it's certainly more available, true. But it's giving us the access point again. But you have to know and you have to be thinking about it. Okay? If it's not that month, if it is this like month now in Sagittarius, whatever's available we can access into much easier. We can access into miracles, but first we have to understand what they are. So what is it? So this word nes in Hebrew, which means miracle, has a root word, as most Hebrew words do. The root of the word nes, miracle, is lanus, to run away. To run away. Run away. Now it says by Joseph, when he was being tempted by the wife of his master, he was a servant in one of the officers in Egypt, and his wife, not Joseph's wife, the Potiphar, his name was, Potiphar's wife wanted Joseph and was trying to seduce Joseph. And Joseph wanted her badly. But in the moment that he said, I have to resist, he saw the face of his father Jacob. It gave him strength, and he ran away. And that's what it says. He ran away. It uses this word, nas, nes, lanus. He ran. What happens later in the story? There are a number of miracles that occur to Joseph, being thrown in jail. That wasn't so much as a miracle, but as to how he got out of jail, because we know Joseph was a dream interpreter, and Pharaoh heard, and Pharaoh had a dream that nobody could interpret, and they told him about Joseph, and anyways, the short of the story is Joseph became Prince of Egypt, second in command to Pharaoh, in charge of all the food and all the money. He was in control. That's important. Being in control. Do we want to be in control? Absolutely we do. How do we achieve control? Again, true control is not through nature. It's not. Nature is going along with everything else. Getting the best out of nature is a wonderful thing. But does that mean you're in control? In control of nature? No, you're in nature. You're not in control of nature. See, a miracle really means being in control of nature. That's really what it means. And that means you can rise above nature. Now, there are different ways to reference this understanding, being in control or rising above nature. You see, rising above nature is the difference between, let's say, getting that job through nature, and, I worked very hard and so on and so forth, and, it didn't work here, it worked there. But Above nature might be something like, well, they turned me down. And for the ideal job that I've always wanted, they turned me down. But you know what? In that moment, I say, well, perhaps this is not for me. And I go home. I'm not down. I'm not depressed. I make a decision to continue on my path of work. And then I get home and I get a phone call and I say, you know what? We changed our mind. We want you. Now that's not within nature. That is above nature. Now we've all had things, I'm sure, at one time or another that are above nature. You see, it says about Jacob, the patriarch, Jacob, his brother wanted to kill him. His twin brother Esau wanted to kill him. And Jacob went to sleep one night and he had a vision, and it was a vision of the angel of his brother, the angel of death, who wrestled with him. And as he woke up, this angel said, let me go because the dawn is rising. And Jacob said, no, I won't let you go until you give me a blessing. So the angel says, all right, what's your name? Strange. He said, my name is Jacob. He said, no, the angel told him, your name is Israel because you've overcome the divine and you have conquered. So what is the secret here? Well, there is a great secret here. Jacob rose above. In his vision, he made a decision to confront his brother. Jacob was afraid. Within his nature, he wanted to run away from his brother. Even though he was powerful in his own right, he was powerful as a patriarch, he was righteous. So, through nature, he could have certainly found a safe space. But he decided to confront, which is the secret of the battle between Jacob in his vision of the angel of his brother Esau. He fought the negativity. In truth, this was his own fears that he overcame. That I'm afraid, but I'm going to push through this. I'm going to overcome this. That would be the way we might do that. And as he got up, we understand that Israel, which is what his name was changed to, again, not permanently, but he went back and forth between Jacob and Israel, as we do. Israel meant the higher level of consciousness that Jacob created when he made a decision to rise above himself. And he created miracles. What miracle did he create? Well, when his brother later came at him with 400 men in an army in order to remove him from the planet, he ended up kissing him. He ended up connecting with him, his brother. And they went on their merry way. That was a miracle. So, what are we saying over here? This month has access into miracles, which means that energy of going above exists. But it's not there automatically. I have to tell you that. It's not a given. It exists only as a result of this. You see that letter Gimmel? You see what it's doing? Putting its leg forward. It means I'm going to do what I need to do. This is against me. I'm afraid. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to overcome my fear. This is uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what's uncomfortable for me. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to confront. I'm going to open myself up. I'm going to share. I don't want to. I'm going to give of myself. I don't want to. But I'm going to do it. Why? Because I'm going to rise above. Now here's the rule, which we must remember, not only in Sagittarius, but all year. When we act within nature, nature will give the best of it, what it has to us. Again, when we do the best in a natural way, we'll get the best out of nature. But when we rise above nature, nature will rise above for us. Again, the rule: when we rise above nature, nature rises above for us. And what we receive is above nature. Well, what is that called? That is called a miracle. Remember, wishing all of us a happy new moon of Sagittarius and a month filled with miracles and wonders every day. And not only in Sagittarius, but for the entire year. Be blessed and happy Thanksgiving. Where your head is at, that's where you're at. Remember, give the video a thumbs up. And this is an excellent opportunity to share this video with anyone you know who may enjoy it. Outside of your nature, create miracles. Start now. All the best.